reflecting on the universe video, we can conclude that the universe is made from a single thought of addiction that consists of two contrasting perspectives that continues to branch out into different frequencies or wavelengths. It wasn't until the dark matter became aware of itself that it became curious, because now it can see at this frequency called light. We have talked about isotopes in earlier videos and how they are simply thought or perspective change due to having both sides of the coin or being neutral, hence the neutron. Referring back to the universe video, the 3D was modeled after the perception of the 5D. Since the frequency or rules changed in the new perspective, vehicles were needed to navigate this new perception. The vehicles were modeled after the two verbs mentioned in the fundamental video, giving and receiving. The dynamic of these actions led to creation. As I stated in the karma video, this experience is about mastering the electron or emotions, which leads to the cultivation of the proton or logic. Shout out to Terry Cosley, first name spelled Terri, last name spelled Kozlowski, who states that receiving is a skill that has to be cultivated.
So many of us have trouble receiving from others. It's not a skill our parents teach, nor is it learned in school. We enjoy the getting of something, but actually receiving the love and the kindness is different. For many of us, when we receive a gift, we feel obliged to give something in return, to keep the balance so we don't owe one another. Or when we receive a compliment, we counter it with mentioning one of our faults. We dismiss an offer of help, spouting our independence when the support really could benefit us. Receiving is a skill that can be learned. My primary love language is gift giving. I'm that person who remembers that when we had lunch 3 months ago, you mentioned wanting to take up journaling. So for your birthday, I gift you a beautiful leather-bound refillable journal with your favorite quote embossed on the cover. My intention is for you to feel my love and appreciation for you as a human being, not that you owe me anything. I learned this from my grandmother. I never left her home without a full belly and knowing that she loved me deeply. She also accepted gifts from me as an act of my love and appreciation for her. I had a splendid example of how to give and receive properly. However, I still had trouble accepting from others because of my abandonment issues with my mother. Do you understand the true essence of giving and receiving? Giving is action-oriented. We're in charge of the situation. Doing for someone else makes us feel good because our brains are wired to get pleasure from giving. We get recognition from the receiver. This charitable act unwittingly builds up our ego. Even the Bible touts the virtues of giving. But this type of giving that the Bible speaks of is one that we do from our hearts, not our heads. The egoic mind wants recognition for the act of giving. The heart wants the receiver to feel valued and worthy of the love that is being given. Do you see the difference? One is an act of self-service, and the other is showing our vulnerability. Receiving is submissive. It opens us up, something the ego doesn't want us to do. To receive love that is being shown, we have to expose our hearts that shows that we care. That unlocks our hidden parts from the giver. Giving and receiving are not two opposites. They are two parts of the whole.
We all must keep in mind, as I stated in the origins video, we are all masculine energy. Remember, light is the constant interaction of the electron and the proton. What makes us different is when we travel to the vehicle.
Have you seen us on the road the last couple days? We've done 18 homes.
What do you do?
Little windows and the frames and the sills.
Oh, that's fine. But there are no leaves in the eaves troughs because the eaves troughs are above the trees, okay?
Yeah,
No eaves.
we don't even do the gutters, so I don't even know.
What are you trying to sell me?
Window cleaning.
Window what?
Window cleaning. We're giving a bit of a
Glass.
That's, yeah, the glass. Yeah, we're just giving a bit of a discount. Just give you a quick price.
36 windows.
It'd be $288. We're taking off our transportation fee, which is $100. Comes in at $188. A couple hours, we'd be able to come and start yours. I like the guard dog. Right now, the workers do it.
I don't want to do that today because I'm not around.
Well, why don't we do this? Making people happy that are extremely skeptical.
Caller,
What?
okay?
Okay.
Have a good day.
Can I give you a bit of a...
Shout out to Oliver Lester that made that video. First name spelled Oliver, last name spelled Lester. That video was symbolic for different ways we took to buy a vehicle or travel to a vehicle by the way of light through zodiac signs, planets, and their placements. And being inside a vehicle makes us different relative to other beings because we become influenced by the vehicle's function.
So you spend a lot of time in here.
12 hours at a time.
What do you got in there?
So going left to right, we kind of just have a spotlight. You know, it's kind of self-explanatory. There's a couple features that Ford has in these cars that are pretty, useful to us. One of the features being that we can actually keep the car running, but take the key out, which is just a safety precaution. If somebody were to gain access to our car, they wouldn't be able to drive away with it.
Okay.
Also, it has perimeter alert, which almost sets a radius behind the car. If somebody were to approach my vehicle when I'm in park with the perimeter alert on, it would actually beep, roll my windows up, and alert me to where they are in relation to my vehicle on a little display.
Okay. Is that unique for the 2020 model, or is that something that you kind of have to special order?
So this is the 2021, but the 2020 was the first model I saw it on that we got in our new cars. But it's definitely a nice feature just for safety when we're typing
Yeah, I mean, if we
reports or
think
whatever in
about
our
some of the
cars.
incidents that happen, especially in New York where they kind of got ambushed, that's definitely a helpful thing to keep you
Absolutely.
guys protected.
Absolutely, when we're
So,
working on our reports and whatnot. So.
Yeah. Okay, what else you got?
So we have the computer here, which is really where we run, 70% of our things through. Anything non-emergency, we can type right into the computer. Instead of tying up the radio waves, we have several different police departments that are all on the same radio channel as us. So we can do things through the computer, not tie up that radio time.
Okay.
In case anyone else were to get in some sort of emergency. If we're
So
in
do you
a-
get 911 dispatches through that too?
We do.
Okay.
So we can self-attach. There's an officer on a phone assignment here. So if I were to see that come through, I can dispatch it to myself. I can jump on that and I can take that, and go and handle that incident and clear it right from here and not even really have to do much communication or tie up much radio time at all.
Wow, that's awesome. Now, sitting in there, I noticed that you got all your equipment on. You got your vest, you got your belt, and that kind of stuff. How does it feel sitting in there? Do you feel squished?
I feel all right. It's comfortable. I mean, there's an armrest here, so you can kind of spread out, and
Okay.
it's not too bad. You do have to get out and stretch your legs from time to time, for sure.
And I hear that Ford specifically built these seats so they don't have those big bolsters on the side, designed for your duty belts.
Yeah, correct. I mean, I can't really even tell. I mean, I have my belt set up in a way to fit properly, but it's not uncomfortable at all.
Okay. What do you got down the center console? Got a couple of different radios.
Yeah, so here, this operates pretty much everything, what I would say, on the external of the vehicle. It would be my emergency lights, sirens. We also have alley lights and takedown lights, which would be on the light bar on the top here. There's an LED light that would illuminate in the area in front of us and to the sides of us.
Okay.
Also, we have what's called the Opticom, which syncs with traffic lights, enables us to take control of a traffic light. With or without our emergency lights on if we ever needed to do so for whatever reason.
Right. Now in Exton here, you have some very specific highways. You have Route 100, Route 30, which can get real congested at times.
Sure.
So having an Opticom is very important.
Oh, absolutely.
It helps with that. We did a podcast a while ago about Opticom. So if you guys haven't seen that or listened to that, check out the podcast about Opticom. We talked to them about it. You also have radio, and what's the other things?
So the radio that we have access to, like I said, the Central Dispatch of Chester County, the Central Group,
Okay.
which is several other police departments on this channel. We also have a variety of side channels that we can operate more directly with just West Whiteland officers or even other police departments directly.
Okay. And that's an 800 megahertz radio. Now,
Correct,
can you
Harris
contact
radio.
EMS through that, or how do you guys get dispatched?
We can. So we would go through the county radio police dispatch requesting EMS, and then they would go through, to contact EMS and send them.
Okay. So it's a private secure channel.
Correct.
Okay. And then what's below that?
So
I've never
this-
seen anything like that before.
Yeah, so this is a VSpec. It's a speed timing device. Basically what it does is it calculates distance and time and gives you the speed that a vehicle was traveling. You can use it to actively pace a vehicle as I'm following them, where I can measure out 2 points and measure the time that a vehicle takes to go between those 2 points and calculate.
So no
the speed.
more radar detectors or anything like that?
Correct, yeah, we don't have that. So,
Wow, wow. So all those laser detectors that you used to have back in the early 80s are
Yeah,
useless.
well, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And what do you got up above your head? I see a camera and
So this will be the display for the camera, which is mounted right here for the dash cam. So it's through WatchGuard is our system that we use, which is actually synced with our body cameras here. So every morning I go and put this into a dock here.
Okay.
Syncs this up completely. So if my body camera is active, the dash cam gets activated. If the dash cam gets activated, the body camera gets activated. So it's all synced up, and then when that goes into our system, they're actually all linked together. We can actually do a side-by-side view of, you know, the car camera playing at the same time as the body camera.
Very cool.
Shout out to all policemen. I actually used to train a couple of them. The police car will require you to operate in masculine energy, but the operator will lead with feminine energy because of the functions, rules, and job this vehicle is associated with.
Chevrolet Suburban. Suburban is the longest running SUV nameplate in automotive history and a classic vehicle for VIP motorcades, or the largest of families. Its 12th generation is offered in 6 trim levels that ride on 18 through 22-inch wheels. The 9-seat configuration is offered only in the most affordable LS trim with a choice of 2 powertrain options. Buyer's decision will be split between a 355 horsepower 5.3-liter V8 gasoline with 383 pound-feet of torque or a 277 HP 3-liter Duramax turbo diesel with 460 pound-feet. Both are coupled with a 10-speed automatic transmission, available as 2- or 4-wheel drive, and feature a traction select system. The modern Suburban offers a yacht-like driving experience with a premium smooth ride suspension. With the optional Max trailering package, the Chevy gets an integrated trailering controller, an AutoTrack 2-speed transfer case, and 8,300 pounds of towing capacity. The flagship Chevrolet has been named the best large SUV for families in America for the 2nd year in a row. Among its advantages are the highest cargo volume in the class of 145 cubic feet, Chevy Infotainment 3 system with an 8-inch screen, wireless smartphone integration, a tri-zone climate control, and a solid list of safety assists.
The SUV employs masculine energy as well, with the operator leading with masculine energy instead of feminine energy this time, because this type of vehicle is normally used to assist multiple people, such as family.
This is the new brand DS, and this car is completely asymmetrical. Take a look at this. This is the driver's side, pure performance, 1400 horsepower. For when you want to be driven. This side of the car is for when you want to be driven around in autonomous mode. Look at this floor, it's completely see-through. And then, take a look at this. It's a floating passenger seat. Look at that, completely floating. How cool is that?
This vehicle actually allows for the separation of the masculine and feminine energy. Both energies produce dopamine within the vehicles, creating behavioral addictions that branches off into 2 different types, substance and impulse addiction. These 2 represent the negative and positive gradient, which are the entities that form that single thought mentioned at the beginning of this video that rules the universe.